Most people use the words rich and wealthy like they mean the same thing. They're actually completely different. And the difference between those two words is the difference between spending your entire life working for money and reaching a point where money works for you instead. Today we're breaking down what wealth actually means, why a high income doesn't guarantee it, and how the same goal is completely different for every single person, and why understanding this definition is the foundation of everything we're building toward on this channel. Welcome back to Compounding with Callie, where we compound some miles and our money. Being rich means you make a lot of money. Being wealthy means you don't have to. Rich is a number on a paycheck. Wealthy is a position, a point where the assets you built generate enough income on their own to cover your life. Rich is active. Wealthy is passive. Here's why that distinction matters. The moment your income stops, being rich stops with it. Your lifestyle, your bills, your financial security, all of it is tied to you showing up and continuing to earn. Take away the job, the client, the business, and it starts unraveling fast. Wealth doesn't work that way. Wealth keeps going whether you show up or not. That's the entire point of it. Most people spend their lives chasing rich. The ones who build real financial security are chasing wealthy. And a lot of people don't want to admit to the fact that you can earn an enormous amount of money and still be poor. Not poor in the sense of struggling, but poor in the sense of having nothing that generates income without you. No assets, no cushion, no runway. Just a lifestyle that expands every time the paycheck does. This happens more than people realize it. The salary goes up, and so does the apartment, the car, the dinners, the wardrobe. Every raise gets absorbed. Every bonus gets spent. The gap between income and expenses never widens because spending grows in a lockstep with earning. On paper, the number looks impressive. Underneath it, there's nothing being built. Flip it around. Something earning a fraction of that, but spending well below what they bring in, is quietly accumulating assets every single month. They're buying index funds, building savings, letting investments grow. Their income looks unremarkable. Their net worth directory doesn't. Wealth isn't necessarily built by earning more. It can certainly help, but it's built by consistently keeping the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and putting that gap to work. Income is the starting point. The gap is the engine. I want to give you a real example of this because it's easy to nod along to a concept and much harder to actually live it. Earlier this year, my wife and I both had a significant income change at the same time. I got a raise at work. She started a new job with a higher salary. Combined, we suddenly had a meaningful amount more coming in every single month than we were used to. And the temptation to spend more is real. When more money hits your account, your brain immediately starts generating ideas for where it could go. A nicer house, a better car, more dinners out, but we didn't do any of that. What we did do is sit down, look at our budget, and ask, what actually matters to us? We landed on two things. A little more spending money each month for the small day-to-day stuff, and a slightly bigger vacation budget, because travel is something we decided is genuinely important to our lives. That was it. Everything else, every dollar above that, went straight to our investments. The result was that our monthly investment contributions nearly doubled. Not because we suddenly made twice as much, but because we had a deliberate decision about where the extra money would go before the lifestyle had a chance to absorb it. That's what protecting the gap looks like in practice. It's not about depriving yourself of everything. It's about being intentional about what actually matters before spending fills in around it. So what is wealth exactly? Wealth is the moment your assets generate more in returns through dividends, interest, and growth than it costs to run your life. That's it. That's the finish line. When the income coming in from what you built exceeds your monthly expenses, you cross into financial independence. You are no longer in need to trade your time for money to survive. Work becomes optional. Every day becomes something you choose rather than something you're obligated to. Now here's the critical part. That number is completely different for every person. For someone living simply, low rent, no debt, modest lifestyle, that number might be a few $1,000s a month. For someone with a family, a mortgage, and higher fixed costs, it could be 3 or 4 times that. Neither is right or wrong. They're just different targets. This is why wealth is never really about a specific dollar amount in a bank account. It's about a ratio. Your assets relative to your expenses. Two people with the exact same net worth can be in completely different positions depending how much their life actually costs to run. This is why also the first step to building wealth isn't picking the best investment. It's about knowing your number. What does your life actually cost? What would it cost to cover that without working? That's your real target, and everything you do with your money should be moving towards it. Everything we cover on this channel, index funds, compound interest, time value of money, how to actually buy and automate your investments, it all connects back to this definition. The goal isn't to help you make more money for the sake of making more money. It's to help you build a structure where at some point your assets carry the weight so you don't have to. And that looks different for everyone. For some people, it means retiring early. For others, it means having more security that they can just take career risks they couldn't afford otherwise. For some, it means sleeping better at night knowing a bad month at work won't undo everything. Whatever it looks like for you, the path there is the same. Spend less than you earn. Invest the gap consistently. Let it compound over time. And keep going longer than feels necessary, because that's exactly when the results start to show up. This channel exists to give you the clearest possible map for that process. Every concept, every tool, every decision, broken down so that anyone can follow it regardless of where they're starting from. Rich is what people see. Wealthy is what actually changes your life. The number you need isn't the biggest possible number. It's the right number for you, reached by closing the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and turning that gap into assets that eventually pay for everything. That's the goal. That's what this channel is about. Thanks for tuning in. Same pace next time. Keep compounding.